Hey, beautiful humans. Thank you for tuning into the Love and Life podcast, the podcast where we talk about how to live and love authentically, whatever that might look like to you. I'm your host, Elizabeth Cunningham. Let's dive in. Hey, beautiful humans. I am sitting here in my kitchen making some food, thinking about you, obviously. And I wanted to share about this empty room theory that I have in life. And before I share, that's my little teaser. That's my teaser to the show. Empty room theory. What is that? And what I started thinking about was, you know, no one can tell you how to do your relationships. No one can tell you how to do polyamory. There's not one way. There's not a right way to do it. There's not a way, and that's kind of the beauty of it. And that's also where people get stuck too, because you're just like, how do I do this? And people are like, there's not a way. And you're like, that's not helpful. um, and and when people come to me, and I've been helping people and coaching people in their polyamorous relationships since 2017, and I've never told anyone how to do their relationships. That's never been a part of the conversation. What we talk about is your mindset, where you're coming at this from. What are you dealing with right now? How would you like it to go? And you don't even have to have like this grandiose huge picture. You could just start with, how I'd like it to go is I would like to just get along with everyone. Like, it's just, we're getting into fights, the communication is breaking down, I feel like I'm not being heard, my partner is upset with me, and I feel like I want to give them the freedom that they want, but I'm taking away their autonomy, and I don't want to do that either. And so there's just all of this stuff to contend with. And again, I've said this a million times, and I'll say it a million times again. It's, we were never taught how to really have healthy relationships in the first place. And then add in that now we're adding complexity to healthy relationships by having multiple romantic or sexual relationships on top of that. And it would be nice to just have a way to do it. Be like, there you go, there's the 7-step formula. Just make sure you have these 7 things and you are good to go. That would be fantastic. But that's just not how it works. And so part of learning how to have successful polyamorous relationships is also learning how to learning how to problem solve, learning how to critically think in different ways, learning how to be emotionally intelligent, learning what your own sexuality is or even looks like or means to you, learning what attraction is versus compatibility, learning how to negotiate, learning how to create agreements. Like, there's so much learning involved in polyamory, and that's what I help people with. I help people with the learning part of it, right? Not with like how to do it. I teach people how to learn, and then in learning, then they create what they want. So, what is this empty room theory that I have? So, my empty room theory is that any you could use life as an empty room, or you can use a circumstance in life as an empty room. So let's continue with this polyamory example. So you have come to the conclusion that you're polyamorous, your partner has said that they're polyamorous, you're curious about polyamory in whatever fashion that you've gotten here. now you have opened this door, so to speak. You've opened the polyamory door. And now there is this empty room in front of you. And in um, in looking in this empty room, most of the time, what we do in real life, if we are, we bought a house or we have a new apartment or we have a room of some kind, and now we're like, oh, well, we need to fill this room. And there's a need that we have to fill the room. And sometimes we just go out and we just like buy shit that we think that would be cool, or like we're like, well, other people have this stuff, right? This is what other people put in a living room or a study or a bedroom or whatever, and we just don't give a lot of credence to how a room could function over time. And so if we actually were like, instead of having to fill the room up right now, right away, as soon as possible, make it all neat and tidy and beautiful, instead of having to do that, what if we just allowed the space and the circumstances of our life and what we wanted and how we're living at any given time to dictate what this room could look like? And so allowing for the room to just be empty for a while, or like fairly barren for a while, allowing that just to be like, there is nothing in this room and that's okay. Like, I know nothing about polyamory and that's okay. I'm not going to be able to know everything about polyamory in the next week, even in the next year, probably even in your lifetime. You'll still be learning things about yourself, the people around you, your relationships, how you can relate to one another, what you can create, how you can build, right? If you are so determined to figure everything out and find everything out and make it all perfect right now and put all of the things in the room that you think that you'll need, then eventually, like, what happens in a room when you do that is that you get rid of stuff. You change it completely. You're like, oh man, we need to do a complete overhaul. We got to paint the walls. It's like, it's a whole ordeal. And not to say that that's a bad thing. That's not a bad thing either. But in this empty room theory, if we just allow it to be empty, have it okay, be okay that it's empty, have it be okay that we don't know anything, or we don't know where to start, or we're unsure, or the only thing that's in the room is like this ugly beanbag that like we really don't like, and maybe that's, your your current relationship that's not working. It's like, okay, I got it. So, what are we going to do about that? Are we going to spruce up the beanbag? Are we going to get rid of the beanbag? Are we going to let the beanbag be for a while? Like, what does this room look like? What does it feel like? What do I want to use this room for? Like, actually start asking ourselves questions and then just letting us stay in the room for a while. Like, what if you just meditated in this room, metaphorically? Like, what if you just meditated in this room? What if you just like walked into this room every day and was just like, what's a new thing that I could learn about this room? Or what's a new thing that I could put in here? Or, oh, I had this idea last night when I was laying in bed, and I think that I'm going to bring this plant into this room. And maybe that's going to a class. The plant metaphorically is you going to a class. It's like, oh, maybe I'll take a class. Okay, great. There you go. I'm going to put this plant in here. And then, maybe sometime down the line, you're like, oh, you know what else I could put in this room that would be really nice is a place to sit that isn't that beanbag chair. And maybe that's you going on a new date, metaphorically speaking. So, like, allowing the room to be empty and having it be okay that the room is empty, having it be okay that you don't know a lot right now, that you're not sure, that you're questioning, that things are confusing. Like, allow yourself to just be in that space of what could be here. And not having to answer that question immediately right now with the right answer. It's okay. It's okay that you don't know. It's okay that that you just opened the door and the room is empty. That's okay. So I just thought I'd share that with you. I love you. Please let me know what you got out of this episode. Please let me know what you're dealing with. Right now, currently, it is May 26, 2023, and I have 5 slots available in my coaching program, Love Deeper. And so, if you are interested in coaching with me and learning how to learn inside of polyamory, and I do mostly coach people who are queer. But if you are a straight polyamorous person, I would love to talk to you too. We are all here for the polyam and the open relationships and whatever the non-monogamy, whatever that might look like for you. If you want to have multiple healthy, thriving, beautiful, refreshing, peaceful, beautiful relationships, I want to talk to you about that. I want to teach you how to do that. I want to help you teach yourself how to do that. Okay? All right. Um, uh, Click on the link to either leave me a comment or click on the link to get a hold of me and set up a call with me so we can talk about working together. I would love that. Like I said, I have 5 spots right now. All right. Love you, beautiful human beings. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much for joining me today. What are your takeaways? What is an action that you're going to take that will have this make a difference in your life? However small, take that action. Don't let this just be a good idea. Make that 1% shift in your life today to live more freely and authentically. If you'd like to learn more about my coaching, my classes, or the events that I host, check out my website at www.elizabethannecunningham.com. Until next time, keep loving.